research publications. The publishing paper is important for getting promotions in academic institution. The public research findings helps to identify the research gaps, and the public research findings improves the credibility of a researcher. But the negative results in a research should be published. Okay. Next question: a senior resident of psychiatry department, psychiatry, senior resident of a psychiatry department of medical college wrote a manuscript based on this thesis work. He has put his wife's name as a co-author. She is working in the physiology department of the same college. Which of the following statement supports the act of the senior resident in providing authorship to his wife? This he can give authorship to anyone since it is his research work. That is not a good point. Okay, yes, it is his research work, but authorship cannot be decided by like that. The guide should decide on who should be the authors. That is also not there. His wife has contributed in designing the residence thesis work. Then, if there is some contribution is there, then it is okay. Okay. Next is about which of the following is incorrect about authorship. Third question. Authorship confers credit, responsibility, and accountability of the published work. The International Committee of Medical Journal Editors recommends criteria on authorship. It is mandatory to declare the contribution of each author. But it is mandatory that all authors should approve the final version of the manuscript. Okay. Next question: which of the following is false about plagiarism? Plagiarism it can be copying and pasting of content from a published manuscript. It can be copy of someone's idea. It is not. It is a serious misconduct also. Erkand software is the user to check the plagiarism. And which of the following are the consequences of the plagiarism manuscript? The journal can retract the manuscript. The institution can take action on the author. The researcher loses professional reputation also. Next is you have finished writing a manuscript and plan to publish it. Which of the following is best practice? Submit a journal. Wait for the journal's response. The submit to multiple journals at the same time is not a good thing. And withdraw. If sometimes submit to many journals, once it gets published in one journal, withdraw it from the journal is not good. Submit this manuscript in different languages to different journals. That's not good. Next question: a researcher conducted a study to identify the risk factor for exacerbation of bronchial asthma. The researcher was due for job promotion. However, the researchers was lacking enough publication to ensure promotion. Hence, in order to have maximum number of publication from the work, this researcher decided to produce 3 different manuscripts instead of one manuscript, comprehensive covering all aspects of the body, which is this act called salami slicing. Okay, salami slicing. Okay. So the following organization directly deal with the publication ethics, that is Committee on Publication Ethics. Next is a group of researchers submitted a manuscript for the publication of a drug trial because they did not register under the clinical registry of India. One reputed journal rejected their paper. Researchers resubmitted the paper in a different journal, and this journal published it without asking any queries. It is necessary to register all drug trials under this clinical trial registry of India, first of all. The journal which publishes the paper is likely to be a predatory journal also. Okay, next is show the following is a best practice for determining the authorship. Authorship can be based on the criteria given by the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. Okay. After submission note, HOD is not needed for that determining the authorship. Gifting and authorship is not and the financing that is not needed for this. Next question is a publish a research work. The common people can also read that research. Okay, the publishing paper is important for getting promotion in academic institution. Public for finding to identify the research gaps also. All the clinical trials in India should be registered with the clinical trial registry of India. That is true. Next question, a neonatologist is planned to conduct a clinical trial to explore the effect of intervention of this drug on hypothermia of a newborn of less than 7 years over intervention. The following about the trial. First of all, the ethics committee approval is must to conduct the trial. Okay, the trial should be registered under the clinical trial registry of India. The informed consent should be taken either of the parents. Age appropriate assent is a must. Age appropriate assent is not a must not a must. It's not a assent in this trial actually, because this in neonatology is what age? Only less than 7 years. Okay. The manipulating data is known as a falsification. Okay. Which of the following correct is determining the authorship? The investigators can follow the ICMJ guidelines to determine the authorship. First of all, the sequence should be based on alphabetic order. No, that's not it. The investigator should include the head of the institution irrespective of his contribution. That is not also needed. Okay, HODs, that's not needed. Next is the researcher. A group of researchers submitted a manuscript in a reputed journal. Okay, even after the 5 months of submission, they did not receive the peer review comments from the journal. The author decided to submit the manuscript of a different journal without informing the editor of the previous journal. Which of the following term describe the situation as simultaneous submission? Okay. A Dr. D has copied the idea of a Dr. A for thesis. Copying an idea should not be considered as a plagiarism. That is a false statement. Copying is plagiarism. Okay. Next is Dr. A. This process of writing a review of literature for thesis, her guide has instructed her to avoid plagiarism. Dr. A should take all the following measures to avoid plagiarism. Avoid copying and pasting. Yes, copying, pasting, and should be avoided. Acknowledge the original of sources. Take help of anti-plagiarism software. Yes. Copy from her own previous work. No. That should not be. That should not be there. Okay. Should not be there. Okay. That's all. And next question. That is conflict of interest. That is, readers can determine the influence of the conflicts of the interest on the conclusion of the paper. Okay. Next is the editor of a reputed journal found that most of the findings of Mansell match with the previously published by a different author. The editor considered as it is a case of plagiarism. So the following is true about it. The journal can retract the activity if already published. Editor can inform the author's institute about it. The researchers lost their reputation also. And true about this clinical trial. It is mandatory to register the clinical under clinical registry of India after completing it. Informed consent is a must. Altering the original data to obtain a statistically significant result by the researcher is known as a falsification. Reducing ethical issue associated with research publication, obtaining institution ethics committee permission should be needed. obtaining permission from copyright holder to produce a figure, declaring family relationship between author and the CEO of the funding agencies. Okay, but including a guest author, including a guest എന്താണ് ഗസ്റ്റ് ഓർഡർ including a guest including a obtaining the institution including guest author to improve the acceptance system is not possible. Okay, which of the following is incorrect or public service are finding? The publication often help in career progression and academic promotion. It is way to communicate research findings with the peer groups. The conflict of interest cannot be suppressed as it has implication in study finding. Okay, to identify the research gap also. Author is mainly responsible for addressing the comments received from the reviews of the journal. That is a false statement. Okay, first author. Okay, submitting a manuscript to more than one journal at the same time is known as simultaneous publication. Already, which of the following is not an essential criteria for authorship? That is duplicate conceptualizing the study, drafting the manuscript, approval of the final manuscript. Being department head is not an essential criteria for the authorship. A postgraduate in a medical college submitted a proposal of the ethics committee of the institute. The committee found that proposal is an error copy of an earlier proposal from the same Appendix Act of PG can be termed as a plagiarism. State whether true or false. Unpublished work must be acknowledged in a manuscript. Yes. Direct or indirect influence of which of the following aspect is considered conflict of interest? Conflict of interest, that is personal, financial, social. Okay, thank you.